So I was just pondering, because that's what I fucking like to do, sit around and meditate and think and put master plans together and figure out how I'm going to share them and not go into fucking psychosis over what generates out of me or what I ingest. Because I, some of my behaviors reflect a compulsion towards spiritual practices and ideations. And I'm learning now a lot of this has to do with not really wanting to be in my body. Anyway, so God, it's hard to fucking say when you've... Okay, so calling self out on bullshit. I'm everything I was saying they were. Anyway, what I'm starting to gather about all of these blind spots in personalities, if you're surfing the web, especially on spiritual practices, damn full on well, you're picking up on other energies and personalities that may not necessarily be yours. However, it is not an excuse to be a fucking prick. And that's kind of what I'm, learning, it's like, I can't really put my finger on it. It's not an excuse to be a prick. I mean, it is, but it isn't. And the more you know how to reflect on self, the more you know who you are, and what you want. And I'm learning the steps to get there, because sometimes manifesting just kind of fucks you over when you're not ready for it. You just want to go jump and do it. Really just gauge those emotions, anger, hurt, lonely, tired, hungry. Hungry is a big one. And when you're hungry when you're also hungry for truth, somebody's doing something, you can intuit it, but you can't really see what that is. It's a form of dissatisfaction. There's a form of need for that to be satiated. But I'm understanding the more that I can just sit with, okay, this is my part. Yes, this sucks because this is my part due to education, due to my past, due to what people have done to me in the past. But it's still my part. And it really hasn't gone away. Matter of fact, it's perpetuated the more I acknowledge it and blame somebody else for it. So it is what it is, I guess. I'm doing my best to I'm kind of doing okay with staying in my body and working this stuff out. Because I know it's important. And I know it's important to put stuff out in the way, my heart is calling me to. And it's pretty intense and scary, and I keep doing dumb shit to avoid that. So I'm just realizing, I can doll it up and class it up and say I'm anointed, I am chosen, and all this bullshit. But the truth is, I was doing, the law of attraction studies is let's sales. You don't take no for an answer. You get what you want. At all, and I had to realize some of the ways that I was trained, and then some of the ways that I'm coming from, they're working against each other, and it helped me understand the arrogance with it. And then when you add I'm an empath to the mix, it's all fucked up. you end up putting yourself in places where you just, like, people fucking are like, what the fuck? And then you're in your head, yes, you got to dazzle it up to get through it, but paying attention to how you're affecting another person energetically and emotionally is also key to that. And it's a portion of that, like if you're coming off and, like this is kind of what I notice is like all this authentic people like with fake profiles and names. And it's like, I don't trust that. And so, I really like my business name. I love it. Actually, I think it's cool. There's kind of some meaning to it, but it's just some shit that I was studying. And I realized, like when I started studying that the number 9, like ends up always folding in on itself. Like that was beautiful to me. So I just kind of realized, like there were a lot of instances in my journey where I, like some of the social cues were not happening because of childhood trauma, and then utilizing, like reading and psychic, stuff and just trying to figure it out on everyday, just curious, everyday life, just trying to figure shit out. Like, I was embarrassed, but I'm not anymore. And one of the main reasons why is because those that have a lot to say around me can't even come close to owning their own shit. So, in a way to where it would resolve and dissolve, like lifetimes of traumas and loops and shit. And so I just, realized like I'm winning no matter what because of the work I did do. And for a while I was regretting that and whatever. And now I'm just like, no, I realize why I went through what I went through, and, your bullshit meter isn't going to be waiting high if you're fucking full of shit. And if you are coming on, like if you're doing bullshit, your bullshit meter is more like a safety, like, the fuck do you call that? Like a trauma response, where, yeah, some things could be true, but like also it's like, and like I feel like I'm able to kind of pinpoint some of the ways that I, kind of like pulled the wool over my own eyes. No worries. And so it's just been fun. And utilizing, like academics and spirituality and, all these masks, which are fun. And I'll keep some, absolutely. However, there's just something in my gut and my heart that tells me that, like when you're a pain in the ass socially, because I know I can hardly, when I'm in an extrasensory mode, I can hardly handle a lot of what comes off another person, especially if they're distorted. So just keep that in mind. All you chosen anointed ones or whatever the fuck, intelligent, emotionally intelligent, just know that, like, hey, sometimes the rub is you, and that's, like it doesn't hurt to take the time to understand that others may really be going through some shit and just sometimes just can't handle your personality at all, and that's okay, as it doesn't make anybody wrong. Move on. If you don't like yourself to the point of believing others about what they say about you, then make a list about the things that you could do for yourself that don't cost, to figure out how you could just be happy within first. And I say first, but that's kind of a lie too, because I've realized the adventure and the journey is all about the external focus is all about figuring you out at the end. So anyway, I'll pick it apart and be more organized with it.